Yo, what's going on? Welcome to another episode of Empire Jeff TV. I am your host, Empire Jeff, coming to you on a Wednesday night. Lost track of days here for a second. From Los Angeles, California, home of your 2024 World Series champion, Los Angeles Dodgers. Appreciate y'all tuning in, man. It's been about a week since we did a live, man. A lot of things going on in Planet Jeffrey over here, man. So appreciate you guys for tuning in. Appreciate you guys for checking in. Been posting other places, just hasn't really had a chance to get up here and do a live in the past week or so. So I hope everyone's doing well, and we are here to talk some Los Angeles Dodgers off-season baseball here, y'all. And the story right now, obviously Juan Soto, he's holding up free agency. He is the prime target in MLB free agency, and is linked to a lot of teams, including the Los Angeles Dodgers. And the Los Angeles Dodgers are indeed tied to Juan Soto. I, talked about this at length before. I don't believe that Juan Soto signing with the Dodgers is likely. Possible. It is possible, obviously. I do not believe it to be likely. And to be honest, I think that might even be the right play. You know what I mean? Here's the thing, though. When it comes down to Juan Soto, when it comes down to the superstar free agent of any offseason, when that free agent wants to meet with you, that agent wants to meet with you, they want to meet with your executives, meet with your players, come to your ballpark, come to your city, or you go to them, whatever it may be. When that player wants to meet you, you make that happen. Now, whether you are going to sign them, whether you're fully intended on going to, full-fledged on trying to get them to sign with you, it doesn't really matter. You have to at least have that sit down. You have that talk with the agent. You have that chance to get to know the player in the area where you may not be able to before. And you just have to take advantage of that. Now, you never know what the future holds. So it's always good to get that relationship, and relationships matter in this business. I have felt throughout this entire process that he's more than likely going to stay with the Yankees or go with the Mets. I don't know which one for sure. I was pretty much set that he was going to be a Yankee, remaining Yankee about 3-4 months ago. ever so slightly, and gradually it's been moving in the other direction. Had it at 50-50, and now it may be where the New York Mets are the actual favorites right now. I don't have any intel on this. I don't know. This is just purely a gut feeling. Cohen and all that money he has, but Hal Steinbrenner knows that, you know, his city, his organization, his fan base, his team are looking for him to get this done, close this as well. He kept Aaron Judge when he was out there. He obviously got Garrett Cole, got Garrett Cole back again this year on that weird little opt out, but guaranteed a following year to make him a non-free agent situation. So I think he knows what's at stake here when it comes to retaining Juan Soto. And it's one thing to have him go on the other side of the country. It's one thing to have him go to another team. But if you're Hal Steinbrenner and the New York Yankees and you allow him to go from the Bronx to Queens, then you got some explaining to do. You know what I mean? Because that is not going to go over well with Yankee fans, the city of New York, which is mostly New York Yankee fans. Queens is going to love it. But outside of that, it would be a very, very difficult thing for the Yankee fans to stomach after losing the World Series and then losing Juan Soto to the Mets potentially. So losing him anywhere would sting. It would hurt for them. But to have him go to the Mets, that's a whole different situation there. So like I said, when it comes to the Dodgers, I do understand why the Dodgers would take the meeting. I do understand why they would have that conversation. I just believe that it's just them having a seat at the table, remaining relevant for the major top free agent and free agents in the game. I think that anytime you're invited to that party, a seat at the table, you have to take it. They took it. They had the conversation. Nothing's really come out about it, so we don't know what came of it, what happened. Reports as of, I think yesterday, were that no offers have been made. This is just kind of feeling out and getting to know teams and people phases. I don't necessarily think I believe that. I had heard early on that they weren't even meeting with people unless they had a general idea of where their high offer would be. I don't know how true that is, but that was something that was making the rounds about a week ago. So I did a show. Matter of fact, last week's show we basically said it's more than likely that Teoscar Hernandez is going to return to the Dodgers, and the Dodgers would not allow themselves to get involved in some type of bidding war for Juan Soto. Everything that I can piece together here, that remains to be the same news. The Dodgers seem very open and wanting a return for Teoscar Hernandez. Teoscar Hernandez feels the same way towards the Dodgers and the city of Los Angeles. But for anyone that's out there saying, why are you messing with Soto? Sign Teo now. Do this. Get it done. I don't believe Teo or many other free agents are really going to sign anything until Soto makes his decision. For one thing, you don't really have a bunch of teams coming after you right now because they're waiting to see Soto's decision. So if you're Teoscar Hernandez and you're trying to drive up your market price a little bit, and you want the Red Sox, you want potentially the Yankees, potentially the Mets, the Toronto, I mean, a bunch of teams out there that have money to spend, willing to offer you a 3-4 year deal at, $23, $24, $25 million a year, and applying a little bit of pressure to the Dodgers to give you a deal, maybe at a little bit of a discount than you would get somewhere else, but more than you made this year, and maybe a third or fourth year there. So for Teoscar, it doesn't make sense for him to sign now when a bunch of teams who could be bidding on his services aren't at the table for him right now, because they may have talked and said, look, if it doesn't go this way with Soto, we'll come talk to you. But those teams aren't going to sign him yet until they know they're out on Soto. So the Yankees, the Mets, the Red Sox, those teams, the Blue Jays, which I don't think the Blue Jays would be heavy players in Teo, but they do have money. So my thing is, I don't believe any of those teams are going to come to the table with a significant offer ready to sign Teo too until they know what Soto is going to do. So that includes the Dodgers, for the simple fact that they are going to see what Soto gets, and Teo's agent would want to know what Teo gets. What Soto gets. So then that market resets, and he has a better idea of what his client can get. So now you got some guys out there that probably wouldn't really be affected by Soto, which would be maybe some of the pitchers out there, right? So, but Soto, Teoscar Hernandez, Pete Alonso, like the bats that are on the free agent market that a lot of people would be talking about, that probably would have signed if not for Soto, kind of like Ohtani last year. That's kind of what they're sitting at right now. So until Soto makes a decision, these guys, including Teoscar Hernandez, are pretty much in limbo. But having said that, I would be pretty shocked if the Dodgers ended up with Soto. Sorry, messing with the mic here. I would be pretty surprised if the Dodgers ended up with Soto, and I would be equally surprised if they didn't end up with Soto and didn't end up with Teoscar Hernandez. I think the biggest shock would be them getting both, which I think is pretty much likely. I'm having some internet issues here, so my camera may be cutting in and out. I do apologize for that. So I don't know exactly where Soto is going to land for sure. If I had to guess right now, I would say Mets 1, Yankees 2, and then I think you got maybe the Blue Jays, Dodgers, Red Sox, all that kind of technically in play. Get potentially a Blake Snell, a Corbin Burns, something there's a Adames, and that's a whole different thing. A lot of people don't seem to want Adames. We've gone into length about that, but if it were me, and if I'm the Dodgers, I'm going the depth route because you got the superstar bats, you got those guys. We need arms, we need a shortstop. We really, really need other areas. Juan Soto will be a luxury, not a necessity, right? But what I don't understand is the amount of people out there just completely anti Soto and Adames. Basically, if they were coming for free, they wouldn't want them. That is crazy to me, right? They don't want it. I don't know where this Juan Soto's clubhouse cancer came from. I don't know where that came from. I've never heard of him being a problem out there. In Washington, he was fine. In San Diego, he was fine. And people kept saying they traded him. Why does he keep getting traded? Well, it's because he wouldn't agree to an extension with Washington, and they wanted to trade him where they could get top value for him. And kind of same with the Padres. To a contender this year, right? So once again, I do apologize. My camera is a little iffy right now because of the internet. So just bear with me here. So there's kind of this weird knock on Soto all of a sudden. He's a locker room problem, and I don't know where that came from. I don't know why it's a narrative. I haven't heard anything in great detail that backs any of that up, that he's a problem. Everything I've ever heard is he's been a great teammate and is a great talent and puts a lot of work in. So outside of that, I don't know where that is coming from. I really don't. But if you're the Dodgers, like I said, you have a chance to talk with him, you talk with him, because you get a chance to talk with a first ballot Hall of Famer and a guy that's going to probably have the second biggest contract in baseball history before this is all said and done. And you get a chance to sit down with them and talk to them. You owe yourself that, to do that. So totally get why they're doing it. They probably have, last I heard last week is they were checking in with Teo and his people every single day, keeping them in the loop. And I'm assuming that they're basically saying, look, we still want you here. We're talking, we're doing our due diligence. We know you're not signing anywhere until Soto's situation is done. We're having conversations. We're seeing what's out there. The Dodgers are also sitting here. Look, we're not going to bid against ourselves with you either, Teo, right? Let's go see what this market looks like for you. We're not going to blindly, make you an offer here until we know what the market bears. And I think, it's kind of been what it is. They could have extended him all season from the second they got him and he showed up. They elected to wait to see how he did in the postseason. He did well. And now they're, going through the motions here. But I would expect my two things here that I would be pretty shocked when it comes to the Dodgers. That would shock me is if Teo doesn't return and if the Dodgers don't get Roki Sasaki. Those two things would kind of shock me if they didn't happen. Outside of that, the Corbin Burns, the Willie Adameses, the Blake Snells, the Garrett Crochets, all these guys potentially out there, I don't really know which way they're pivoting. I don't know which one they have a favorite of. I don't know. I just know that the Dodgers have been kind of laying the groundwork on Blake Snell for almost a year now. And maybe that leads to something. But I think the Dodgers thinking is if they know, and I don't know this for sure, it's just a feeling I have. I believe they're going to get Roki Sasaki when he posts. I think the Dodgers are sitting there knowing, look, we're going to get Roki for whatever it ends up being. It's going to be minimal. It's going to be nothing, peanuts compared to what he's actually worth. So you get him. You got all that deferral money with Shohei. So they're still looking at this. Look, we got 3 more years of Freddie. We've got some moves we can make here to go all in on this version of the Dodgers with the Mookie, Shohei, Freddie, Muncy, Teo, you know, to get these either the Yamamoto's, Glass now, this version of this team, I think they're like, look, we're going to go on this team for like 5 years. This went back to last offseason, 5 years, right? And then we'll recalibrate. And, you know, with Freddie having 3 more years left on his deal, and I think after that, then, you know, then it's going to be time for that next guy. And I think when you meet with guys like a Juan Soto or these other guys, you know, who knows what it looks like 3 years from now, what these guys are looking like, what position they're playing, how that team is looking, how their financial structure is working. So maybe if it comes down, I'm sure that Soto's going to get a deal here. There's going to be a no trade clause in that deal. And then he'll be able to determine where he goes if he is ever moved. And if the Dodgers make a good impression on him now, and they do right by him and the agent in these meetings, let's say when Freddie's done and Teo's contract is done and Soto's sitting there at 29, and he's like, look, this isn't working where I'm out, and I want out of here. I want to be traded to the Dodgers. That's the only team I'll waive my no trade for. Make it happen. And that's why you make time for these type of meetings. And that's why you communicate and you build relationships with these star players when they invite you to sit down at the table with them. Now, I'm not saying that this could happen or is going to happen. You know, I'm just saying there's reasons why ball clubs do this. There's reasons why agents do it. And there's reasons why players do it. Sometimes you don't get the chance to see the inside of an organization like that. You don't get that freedom as a free agent to sit there and talk with anyone in an organization that you choose to speak to. And when you're a free agent, you get that opportunity. You want to take advantage of it. There's plenty of people who want to see behind the curtain of this Dodger machine. What makes it so great here? You know, what are you guys doing here? You know, what's your free agent pitch? Like, they want to be courted by the best of the best. And makes total sense as to why Juan Soto would want to meet with the Dodgers and vice versa. But like I said, if I had to guess, it's him going back to one of the New York teams, Dodgers bringing back Teo, signing Roki, and hopefully adding a lefty starter to this rotation, man, because we need arms, right? We got healthy arms coming back, but we need to add a lefty starter, in my opinion. I'm always big on, if you've got the money to sign the guy and then you use the prospects to go get guys, you know, at the trade deadline or some point during the season, when you spend a lot of that money, now you got pieces you can move. So I've always been a big component of that. That's what I wanted them to do last year. They pretty much did. And that's how they ended up with Edman. And then they ended up with Kopech. And like I said, you know, Kiermaier and Flaherty, right? So I kind of like that approach. Spend your money in the offseason, send your prospects out during the season, approaching the trade deadline, etc. So appreciate you guys for tuning in here on a Wednesday night. Once again, I am Empire Jeff. This is Empire Jeff TV. You are tuned in to the Los Angeles Dodgers off-season coverage, man. Bunch of y'all over on Twitter right now rocking heavy. I greatly appreciate y'all. Shout out to you guys on YouTube as well. Drop a like on the video if you have not done so already, and subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. Speaking of not done so already, if you have not, make sure to get your MLB, NBA, and NFL gear and more. Make sure to use our link at Fanatics to get special discounts, and your purchase also helps support the channel. Big salute and shout out to all y'all who have made all those orders during the playoff run and since the Dodgers won the World Series. When you do order through our link, your order experience does not change, but you are entitled to some special discounts. And when you do place an order, the good people at Fanatics, since they have partnered with us, take care of us, because you took care of them by ordering through us. So any of your gear, your Dodger championship gear, which I'm wearing some, I got the World Series hoodie, the victory patch here in the hat. Got a lot of gear myself. So make sure to use that link if you're going to purchase any of your sports gear. Appreciate those who have done so already and those who will in the future. Aaron, what's good, Aaron? Hope you're doing well, brother. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you. Nathaniel Crenshaw, what's going on? Crenshaw, appreciate you, man. My Yankees are interested in Teo if we don't sign Soto, Jeff. Yeah, and that kind of goes back to my point of why I'm saying, like, it doesn't make sense for Teo to really sign anywhere until he knows where Soto signs. If Soto goes elsewhere, the Yankees are going to look to replace him. If Soto goes to the Dodgers, which I, again, don't think is going to happen, then Teo's market is going to, you know, have a bunch of other teams that want to get him, and the Dodgers will no longer be in play. If Soto goes to the Mets, then maybe you've got the Yankees and the Dodgers and the Red Sox and all these teams in a bidding war for Teo. So it makes sense for Teo to wait it out. And yeah, if Soto does indeed walk on the Yankees, then Teo could be in play there. That's absolutely for sure. Chris, the graphic god, aka Chris, the art director. What's up, my brother? Appreciate you for tuning in. Hope you're doing well, my guy. Phoenix Layer 1. What's up, my guy? Empire Jeff. It's been too long. We missed you. Hey, appreciate you. It's been my schedule, man. That's why I'm always telling you guys it's really hard for me to be an everyday content creator and keep up with the greats out here that do this, man. My schedule is too hectic. My career is busy. Got my wife, whose birthday was towards the back end. We started their birthday celebration towards the back end of last week, man, and that just rolled through the weekend. So I had no time. I got 3 other birthdays this week in the family. So it's just been tough. November is like, I don't know what's going on. Just a bunch of Valentine's babies, because November is just jam packed with birthdays for me and the family. So, but my wife just had her birthday celebration. We did that this past weekend. Went all in on that, man. Had a ball. Had a ton of fun. So, kind of getting back into the regular swing of things. Had a birthday dinner tonight. Came back after that. Tapped in with you guys. But been real busy. I've been posting on the IG and TikTok and YouTube Shorts. In the meantime, but I haven't had really a chance to come and do a live, so I wanted to pull up, kick it with you guys tonight, man. I missed you guys too. Appreciate you, Phoenix Layer 1. Hopefully, as things die down, obviously we got Thanksgiving next week, so it's going to be a rough stretch for me to line up any kind of consistent lives here, but I'm going to do my best to try to do some of them, though. But appreciate you for tuning in. Daniel Berry, what's good, my guy? Appreciate you for tuning in, as always. Ken Carter, what's good, my guy? Empire Jeff on the ones and twos. Yes, sir. Aaron says, watch those same fans switch up, longtime fans if he signs. Yeah, it's funny. We had all those. There was a lot of these people were chanting future Dodger to Juan Soto, right? And all of a sudden they don't want him. And I get it. The thing is, a lot of Dodger fans have just become connected to Teoscar Hernandez. The season he had, the way he just became one with the city. You saw his, during the celebration at the parade, just pouring his heart out to the city and the fans. I totally understand it. I love Teo. I want Teo back. I want Teo to be a Dodger for the rest of his career. I really do. And I think that's going to be the play that happens. And I think that's the right play. My thing has never been about not wanting the Dodgers to bring back Teo, because that is my plan A. Like, that's what I want. Again, my whole thing is, and my whole discussion, and I feel like this happens in basketball talk a lot. People don't hear the whole argument, your whole statement. They just hear a part of it. My wish is that Teo returns and we add more depth. A lefty starter, maybe another pen piece, a shortstop, whatever it may be. My wish would be keeping Teo and adding a little bit more depth. That would be my wish. Having said that, it would also be foolish to not sit down with Soto if he wants to sit down with you. And that's been my only take on this. And I think that's what they're doing. I think that's smart. But I really want Teo back. I think he will be back. And again, I know why the city wants him back. But there's a difference between wanting your guy back and wanting a guy who won a championship with you to return and run it back and go again, and slandering another guy. The comments I'm getting on TikTok and is crazy for this guy, right? Calling him a locker room cancer, which is false. Calling him he's just another Puig. I mean, they're calling Juan Soto another Puig. That's crazy. I loved Puig, but Juan Soto is in a whole nother universe than Puig. That's kind of doing too much. So I understand it. Teo's their guy. Teo's my guy, right? I understand it. But you don't got to tear down one man to build up another, right? I feel that Teo at his place, I wish the Dodgers had Teo 2 years ago, right? But Teo being 32, and like I said, look, you got Juan Soto, the premier free agent of this class, 26 years old, generational hitting talent. You have to have that talk. You have to when they want to sit at the table with you. But a lot of people are so attached to Teo that they just can't hear anything else. And I understand it. And I do believe and think and still feel and am still pretty much convinced that Teoscar Hernandez will be returning to the Los Angeles Dodgers. I believe that to be true. I can't predict the future. I just believe that to be true. Last week, it seemed like that was just trending towards being a lock. And it may still be behind the scenes. Like I said, nothing's even come out about that Dodgers and Soto meeting. We just know that it was supposed to take place yesterday. We don't know if it actually did. We don't know where. We don't know how long. We don't know who was there. We don't know any of that, right? For all we know, he can end up on Mookie's podcast in a couple of days, right? And make his decision there. I mean, who knows? That would be wild, right? But what I'm saying is, I understand why everyone wants Teo back because I want Teo back. But it doesn't mean entertaining the option of Soto doesn't mean he has to be torn down by Dodger fans just because they want Teo back. You get what I mean? Dan Inspiration, what's up, my guy? Low key, I want the Dodgers to go after Tanner Scott and Clay Holmes. So here's the thing. I think the Dodgers will be in on Tanner Scott. I don't believe Clay Holmes, but I think Tanner Scott has been someone that the Dodgers will have conversations with. He's going to be pricey, but I think he would be perfect, man, for the back end. And another high leverage reliever and a lefty reliever at that. That would be absolutely incredible, man. Aaron says Puig was the superior outfielder. Soto is a superior bat. Yeah, I mean, far superior bat. But yeah, Puig was a 5-tool player, a cannon of an arm, could run down a ball, would run through a wall, effort never questioned. Totally agree. But Soto's a generational talent in the batter's box, man. What do you think is a fair contract for Teo? 3 years, $78 million with the 4th-year option. I think fair would be a 4-year deal with the 4th-year option. The money, we'll see what the market bears. It's too early to say what's a fair offer when we don't know what these other guys are going to get yet. So for me, I think the only way the deal is fair for the Dodgers if it's the 4th year is at a team option. Anything outside of that, I don't give Teo a straight out 4-year deal. I wouldn't do it. That's just me. And I think it would be a little unrealistic for him to expect that from them. Look, if he wants to get paid, I think the Dodgers will pay him. I don't think they're looking for any major hometown discount. Maybe a little deferral there like he did last year. But if Teo says, look, I'll take a 4-year with the 4th year at your option or 4th year with like 12, 13 million guaranteed, I think that's something he might consider because he still wants to win. You know, if he goes to Boston, if he goes to the Yankees, any of these teams, like he still might be playing for a trip to the World Series, but he's probably not going to win one. So if here, a place he already knows he's had success, he loves the clubhouse, he loves his manager, he loves the city, he loves the fans, he loves wearing the Dodger uniform. I'm pretty sure that he's not going to walk away from all of that for $10 to $15 million, right? I don't think so. 10 to $15 million is nothing to sneeze at. Having said that, I think his priorities are to stay and get paid and maybe not necessarily go to the highest bidder. So if I had to say for Teo, I would say 3 years guaranteed at somewhere between 70 and 75 million, and a 4th year either club option or like $13 million, between 10 and 13 guaranteed, roughly half of what the full contract would be. I think that is fair. I think it'll be something along the lines of that. And again, I think he comes back. I really, really do. Aaron says, 2 different guys, no comparison. Yeah, it's not a comparison. But I was getting that a lot. Like on the comments were just like, all were cancer, another Puig, Teo's better, all these different things. Now, again, you could sit here. I love Teoscar Hernandez. I want him to return as a Dodger, and he would be my choice. But to say that Teo is better than Soto is unrealistic. Is unrealistic. Juan Soto is going to be a surefire first ballot Hall of Famer, probably multi-time MVP. So to say that Teoscar is better than him, that's stretching the truth. Now, Teo's fit on this team. Okay, we can have that conversation. Maybe better. But he's not better than Juan Soto. He's not. And I'm sure Teo knows that, right? But it doesn't mean that he's not great. And it doesn't mean that he wouldn't be like a lot of our number one choice, because he still would be my choice to return. I would give me Teo and depth and other guys with that money you would spend on Soto and add and build to this team. Because here's the thing. For those who just want to run it back is not enough. It is not enough. Running it back is not enough. You need to add to this ball club. Teams are going to be gunning for you. Teams are going to look to add to their teams, to add to their rosters. The Padres are looking to stack. The Mets are looking to stack. The Yankees will be looking to stack. The Phillies will be looking to stack. The Brewers will be doing everything they can to try to improve on last year. The Orioles looking to improve and stack there. And you get all the teams that were coming up that are going to look to improve. The Padres are going to be an even bigger problem next year because they're going to be probably playing great the whole season. And we'll see what these other ball clubs do. But at the end of the day, status quo, standing pat is just not an option. Bringing back Teo, yes. But you need to bring back guys and still add. You need to add talent to this roster. And by doing so, that means some of the guys can't come back from last year, whether it's they walk in free agent or someone gets traded. I think there's a significant chance that Gavin Lux is not back. Gavin Lux, Outman, and a couple of prospects. They could be out of here. They could be out of here. And they probably are, especially with Mookie playing second. So you need to add to this ball club. Running it back is simply not enough. Teams are going to be coming for you even more. You thought teams were coming for the Dodgers last year after signing Ohtani and Yamamoto? Wait till this year because they got that bling. They got that ring. They got that trophy. We got the parade. Teams are going to really be gunning for him now. And then on top of that, if they go and they add a Roki Sasaki, if they add a Corbin Burns, Blake Snell, Garrett Crochet, Max Fried, any of those guys, teams are going to be doing everything they can to come for the Los Angeles Dodgers. So the Dodgers can't just sit back and act like everything's like peaches and cream, man. They got to go for it. And this is why they're having the talks with Soto, getting inside his mind, seeing the questions he's asking, right? And, at the very least, raising the cost on this guy for other teams that will be competing with them for other talent out there. So it makes absolute sense why they'd be involved with this. But the Dodgers simply running it back, guys, is just not an option. They definitely need to add to this team. What's going on, IK? What's going on? Salute to you. Appreciate you for pulling up. Big baby. What's good, my brother? Appreciate you for pulling up as well. Hope you're doing well. Make sure to go subscribe to Big Baby Sports, man. Why do teams meet with players if they're not going to sign them? Well, it's just like it's a lot of guys do this, right? So you remember back in 2010, Big Baby, when LeBron James was a free agent, and teams like the Nets and the Clippers he met with, but they had really no chance of signing him. But getting a meeting with him added credibility to that franchise, which essentially helped lead to them get Kawhi Leonard and Paul George and things like that. So you meet with them because you really don't get a lot of chances to talk with superstars freely like that. Like I said, to get them in, get them to meet everyone in your organization, a real sit down with these guys. You can't do that because of tampering. So when you get a chance to really sit down with a talent like Soto, all of his representation, all of his agents, his business people, his family, and really get to know the guy and really spend some time, you got to do that because it potentially gives you an advantage later on. So that's why you do it. You always, when someone wants to sit down and meet with you professionally and they're that level of talent, you do it. You take the meeting 10 times out of 10. LA for life. What's good, my guy? To get feel where they are and got a price. So yeah, true. I'm not sure what you mean by that, LA for life. What do you think Soto's deal would be if you had to spitball? You know what? I don't know, man. I don't know how crazy the New York teams are going to get. So to me, I just anything above 600 seems crazy to me. It just does. For a guy who's not a great defender, phenomenal bat, Hall of Fame bat. But what I think he should get versus what he will get is totally different. So to me, I'm thinking like, look, Shohei got 700 mil, but he pitches, he went 50-50. He's a two-way, he's a two-way player, superstar. To me, he's like 200 million more than Soto to me. So like Shohei getting 700 to me, that means like Soto's ceiling to me would be 500. His ceiling. He's probably going to go, he's going to blow past that. So if I had to guess, I would say I know the reports are 650, 660, whatever. I don't know if I believe that. If I had to guess, I would say between 550 and 600. And if the Yankees offer 550, I think Cohen would go to 600. And maybe this becomes the bidding war so big that it goes over 600. But I think that's a stretch and that's overpaying. And at some point it becomes too expensive for what he brings. Very, very, very good hitter, incredible hitter, Hall of Fame hitter. 600 million would be crazy to me. So I'm going to split the difference and say 575. And that still feels like an overpay. What do you think about the Roki Sasaki news? Kind of goes in line with, that the news doesn't really alter anything. All it means is that whoever gets him, he can get a little bit more money. But if he was dead set on being a Dodger, it doesn't change anything other than the fact that he can get a little bit more money from the Dodgers if he does the 2025 posting instead of the 2024 posting, which means he would have to post on or after January 15th, which makes sense. He'll get a little bit more money. But if he's decided on the Dodgers, that won't really change. He just gets a little bit more money for doing so. So I still think he becomes a Dodger. I don't think this changes anything. I just think it means he gets a little bit more time a little bit more money in doing so. All reports are he's not, too overly worried about money, but 2.5 million and 7-something million, that's still a good enough, jump for, switching a country, and he's going to get plenty of endorsement money and all that. But, he's going to have to go put some years in major leagues and including some arbitration years. So any little extra funds that he can get from a baseball contract perspective on a minor league deal would benefit him. So that totally makes sense. And I understand why. If you had a choice, would you get Blake Snell, Max Fried, or Corbin Burns? I would say I really like Corbin Burns, but I don't want Corbin Burns on a 7-year deal. I don't know if Corbin Burns would take a 5-year deal. So my thing is, if I'm the Dodgers, Corbin Burns is probably the best one of those, but he may be a little bit too pricey and too much risk there. If it's 7 years, 200-something million for Corbin Burns, I don't know. It's not that he's not good, because he's great. If he was willing to come off those 7 years, then he would be my top choice. I just don't think that's going to happen. I want a lefty in here. So Fried and Blake Snell. Fried did not have a great year last year. He had those injuries. He got absolutely rocked by the Padres in his last start. So I would say from a talent perspective, I would go Burns, Snell, Fried. From a realistic and a fit of us needing a lefty, I'll probably go Snell, Burns, Fried. It's probably the order that I would go in. Kane says, how do you deal with transitions like your homies after do you wrong or you feel like you outgrew your company? I'm currently in that predicament. My thing is, in any aspect of life, you want to always be growing. You want to always grow. Sometimes you outgrow people. Sometimes you outgrow situations. Sometimes you outgrow relationships. Just is what it is. If you're growing for the right reasons and you do it respectfully and don't burn a bridge, then you go about it that way. Now, sometimes someone gets out of pocket, you gotta put them back in their lane. At the same time, you gotta stand on your own too. But outside of that, whether it's homies or the company or whatever situation you're in, if it's best for you, you gotta move on. You gotta move on. Don't ever stay anywhere too long that you don't want to be. Don't ever do that. That's in a relationship. That's in a neighborhood. That's at a company. Transitions are all part of life. And the better you get at making these transitions smoother on yourself, the more comfortable you are with the transitions, man. And always embrace the challenge of change. Always. It's always those who don't who struggle the most. What's going on, Mike? Appreciate you, man, for tuning in. Did you hear of the rumors Dodgers offering Juan Soto a 2-year, $120 million, close to $150 with incentives? Well, that's out of the Dodger playbook. Really, really high average annual value at a low term. Boris isn't going to take that deal though. So whatever that rumor is, I'd be very shocked if that deal is accepted by Soto from the Dodgers or any team. I don't see that. I don't see that happening. PC, what's good, my guy? Appreciate you for tuning in as always. Hope you're doing well. I can't see what this is. Got some stuff going on here. Let me ignore that. Aaron says, yeah, especially with Freeman in his mid-30s. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. So you always got to plan ahead. You always got to plan ahead when you're talking with the team. So there's a lot of guys who teams and players who talk with a player this time around to potentially get them at their next turn in free agency. Baseball's a little different because superstars sign like 10 to 13-year deals. But sometimes they have opt-outs after 4 years or 5 years, right? So Soto could come in and sign a $13 million deal, but have an opt-out at age 30, right? Now, if you're the Dodgers, you might be wanting to have a seat at the table at that meeting, right? So that's why you laid the groundwork now. And it just makes total sense, and it's smart business. Need to add solid role players to complement Ohtani and Betts. Yep, and continue to grow on top of those for sure. Thoughts on Lux? I think he gets traded. Yeah, I think Lux might be out of here, y'all. I think he might be out of here. Maybe to Milwaukee. Milwaukee potentially losing Adames. Lux is from Wisconsin. They've got some pretty good relievers over there the Dodgers would have their eyes on. So I could see Lux potentially finding his way back to his home state of Wisconsin for sure. And I think there's a pretty strong chance that Lux get traded. The Dodgers were very high on him for a very long time. Still a very good player, but he's not going to probably fill the everyday shortstop need for the Dodgers. Mookie moving back to second. He's got a couple years of team control there, which I think would be attractive to a team like Milwaukee. And so if I'm the Brewers, I seriously consider making that deal. And I think the Dodgers and Brewers make natural trade partners for that. Once again, drop a like on the video if you have not done so already. Subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. Over 120 people on Twitter right now. Twitter X, shout out to y'all. Shout out to everyone over on YouTube as well. On YouTube, you can also become a member to the channel. For less than the cost of lunch, you can become a member for an entire month. Go ahead and hit the join button or that first link in the description on how to become a member. Shout out to all the members already. They do some member-only videos, member-only vlogs, some member-only lives. During the holiday stretch, when I'm not able to do all the lives, I'm going to have a lot of member-only videos, member-only lives coming to the channel. So great way to help support the channel. It's like doing one super chat a month. So would greatly appreciate it. You can also tap that Cash App, $ Empire Jeff. Great way to help support the channel, along with all of our affiliates. Links are in the description. The Code118 Wallets, phenomenal wallets. I saw a couple of y'all order some today. I don't have my wallet on me. I usually do. Incredible minimalistic wallet here with a bunch of different modules that you can add to it. GPS trackers, all kinds of different things, man. So check out the Code118 Wallets. Great product, great company, friends of the show. They listen to the show. Go ahead and get your wallets over there. Obviously, our Fanatics links is also in the chat and pinned in this chat as well, and in the description. Plus, other affiliates we got going on. So appreciate you guys who have been supporting the channel through our affiliates, who have done the super chats, who have hit the Cash App and have become members. Great ways of supporting the channel. And we thank you for all you guys do for the channel. I think I answered this one already. Pretend you're already a spring ball. Predict who is your biggest threat to stop a repeat. I obviously don't know what rosters are going to look like yet. I don't know what changes, including the Dodgers. I don't know what changes are going to be made, additions, subtractions, etc. If I had to go based off what we just saw in these past playoffs, I would say the Padres still. I would still say the Padres. I would say the Padres. I would say the Mets are probably going to get better. Got to see what the Yankees do. But I just felt the Yankees and Mets, and whether it's Milwaukee or anyone coming out of the AL, were, I think it was Dodgers, Padres, and then the rest were like down here. I would say right now it would be the Padres, but we really got to see what these rosters look like coming into spring training. Appreciate you, Alfonso. Appreciate you guys. Dropping a like on the video. How many likes we got on the video? Come on, y'all. Let's see. Yeah, drop a like on the video, guys, if you guys have not done so already. Aaron says, any future third baseman plans right now for the team? Not sure how many more years, months he has left. I I don't know about future plans. They got some guys in the minors. I don't think they got any guys that are like at the top of the list to be there long term. We'll wait and see. Look, I'm going to tell you, there's guys out there. The Dodgers are going to be in position to make a pretty decent trade in a few years here, and who knows who that could be? That could be the third baseman. It could be if Freddie retires, a first baseman, or does Will Smith eventually transition to first, and they make a move for a catcher. I mean, who knows? Like, who knows? Do they? I've been telling people like forever. It would not just shock me that if at some point when Ohtani like stops pitching, that he says, "Okay, I'm gonna play first or the outfield." Like, sounds like a guy that wants to do more than just hit, right? And he'd probably be great at it because he's great at everything he does in baseball. I still think there's a chance at some point Ohtani could play a position. Like, I think that's possible. I think he wants to do everything. And so maybe that's something that comes into fruition down the road. I don't know. But keep an eye on it. Keep an eye on it. And a guy, I'm going to say this very early because this is years early in the process. But even a guy like Corey Seager, eventually he's going to have to move to third. We'll see where Texas is. By that point, maybe potentially half of that contract is done. Maybe they trade for someone like a Seager. I mean, who knows, right? Just things that are on the table because all these other guys have been signed long-term. Like I said, you got the Bobby Witt Jr. I don't think Gunnar Henderson ever hits free agency like these shortstop guys. So maybe it's, a trade for an elite guy that's short that's going to be moving over to third, or who knows. But keep an eye on guys like that. I think it's going to be a veteran probably that becomes the next hot corner guy. LA for Life says Rosenthal wrote the Dodgers met with Snell already and the Red Sox. Yeah, Snell, I'm telling you, I've been telling you guys been watching the show. You guys know I've been talking about Snell since almost the end of free agency last season. And that's kind of when they started like really approaching him and kind of gaining momentum. So similarly to what I said about why they should meet with Soto is because if he ever becomes available again with an opt-out or trade, then you've already got to meet with him. He's been inside your organization. He's met with people. You may have an inside track there, right? Especially if he has a no trade clause or an opt-out, like I said. Similar with Snell. That's what they did last year. They met with him prior to him signing with the Giants. They had time to meet with him, really sit down with him, talk with him. Then they tapped in with the Giants around the trade deadline and said, hey, we want to trade for Snell. Signaling to Snell, who they couldn't talk to, but having it put out there that they did, again, not only reach out to him and kind of like the 11th hour of free agency, but also tried to make a trade with their rivals to get him and signal to him that they're interested. So, and now here they are meeting with him again. This is why I've said, I heard that got really close to being very, very possible until the Giants guaranteed that second year at his option, not the club's. And had the Giants not done that, he probably ends up a Dodger. And that's very similar to what happened with Bellinger and the Cubs. A lot of people don't know that Bellinger almost returned to the Dodgers. It was close. He was hanging out at Camelback Ranch with the players. There was belief that could get done. There was a few things that almost happened with the Dodgers. And this is another one of those things where if the Giants did not give Snell that second-year option at his option, that he may have ended up a Dodger, and that's why they did that, right? So they probably end up losing him after that 1 year anyways, but they kept him away from the Dodgers last year, and the Dodgers still won the World Series. So, but the Dodgers, in reaching out to him, trying to sign him at the end of free agency last year, plus initiating trade talks with the rival to try to trade for him, that pretty much put it in Snell's ear, like, yeah, this team has real interest in me. And Glass now has been working the angle there, trying to get him, to consider to come and team up with him again. And the Dodgers need a lefty. They need a frontline starter. He's not going to command a 5-6 year deal. He could be a guy that you can get on a 3-year deal, perhaps. And I know the guy doesn't eat up a lot of innings. I know he goes about 5, but you're going to go with the 6-man rotation. You need a lefty. You're going to have a lot of these guys not going more than 5 anyways at this point because you're trying to save the arms. He fits in there. And then you're going to need a real innings eater. You're going to need some guys that can eat some innings. When you got a Snell, when you got a Yamamoto, when you got a Ohtani coming back off of surgery, when you got a Tyler Glass now who's going to be probably on an innings restriction, you're going to need guys who can go out there and eat these innings up, and or just have more guys that can pitch once a week. And Snell's probably going to be a guy that may fall into that category. And all those conversations they've been having with him could potentially lead to him joining the team because they've been persistent with it. Mike Lopez says, what are the chances of Rushing making the 26-man roster? We could have 2 rookie Daltons in Los Angeles with Dalton Connect and Dalton Rushing. Dalton Rushing is they're very, very high on him. And, you know, they've been working on him to play a corner outfield position. No real spot for him at catcher. But again, if they, you know, depending on how this all shapes out, yeah, there were talks of potentially trying to bring him up at the end of last year and kind of make him like the season before's Vargas. That didn't happen. So Dalton Rushing, they're very high on, and maybe he does. And if not, I think at the bare minimum, you're going to see him in the bigs this season. You're going to see him. And, you know, I'm excited, like, you know, him, what kind of leaps does Pages make this year? Very, very curious to see how some of these Dodger young bucks do. Dan Inspiration says, I think Ohtani will either play right field or first base. He has a cannon of an arm to throw out runners at home, tall enough to play first base. And that's what I'm saying. Like, call me crazy, but I think there is a chance that Ohtani, when Freddie's done, maybe like, look, I don't have to be our DH. Go get a DH. And that's what I'm saying. If you really pay attention to some breadcrumbs here, this Soto talk with the Dodgers really could be about 3 or 4 years from now and not about now. And if he opts out at 30, when Freddie's contract is over, or 29, when Freddie's contract is over, and Ohtani's pitched at least 3 more years with the Dodgers, and maybe at that point he's like, I'll play first. Go get him. Let him be DH. Now we talking, right? I'm telling you, it's not outside the realm of possibility, either via trade or he opts out. So I'm trying to like really paint that picture for you guys because keep a very close eye on where that opt-out is and what that no trade clause looks like for Juan Soto when he signs that deal, wherever he signs. Oh, if Seager transitions to third and does well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. And he's gonna transition to third eventually. And I've heard more than once that both parties would be interested in reunion down the road. There's a belief that Texas may not be all in on contending every year financially. So we'll have to wait and see on that. So if that's the case, there's potential there for Seager to return. Potential. That make this real interesting. Yeah, and like I said, just these are things you got to start paying attention to as it gets towards the end of Freddie's deal. Like I said, if I'm the Dodgers, your hope is that you can match up Teo's deal with Freddie's deal. Like that's your hope, right? You got Glasnow's deal, like you got all these deals. That's why I always talk about this first wave of the Ohtani run being the first 5 years. That first 5 years is what we're kind of locked in on right now. Freddie, Teo, Glasnow, like those guys. Then you're going to look to reload at that point, right? So like I said, if it's someone like a Soto who has an opt-out, right, strategically at that point, I'm just saying. Did you hear about Ezekiel Rivera, the new young third baseman from Sinaloa, the Dodgers signed? Yeah, I've heard it's just hard to tell what these guys are going to be though, you know. But yeah, the Dodgers have to do a great job of getting, you know, these guys from other countries at a very young age, developing them, and stashing them for later. But like I said, they're looking at, like I said, 5 years down the road with guys like that. I would package Lux and Outman to the Brewers for that one reliever and prospects. Yeah, well, I think Williams, right? He's nasty. And then again, that is a real possibility. Sometimes when you're successful, it's weird how even people close to you make you feel bad for winning. That's just human nature, man. And sometimes it's not even really a reflection on you. It's a reflection on them. Sometimes people aren't mad at your success. They're mad at the lack of their own. And as a result of that, they don't really know how to show that or hold themselves accountable. They don't know how to get off their own shoulders and get over and go get it, right? They want to cry or make up excuses. So you got to understand, like, life is hard, even on those who have success. But those who don't have it root against you silently or loudly, right? At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. It's all noise. At the end of the day, like, the best form of appreciation is that deposit. You're earning, right? What are you earning? The work puts in gets the earning back. That's the truest form of thank you and appreciation and support. Outside of that, it's all noise. As you get older, as you become more successful, as you grow in life, your circle will get smaller. That's by design. Circle gets smaller. Everybody can't go, right? Your circle will get smaller, and that's okay because it'll get smarter. And at that point, you just focus and lock in on your success and your team's success as far as those around you. Align yourself with like-minded people who want the same things in life and do different things. And that makes you stronger. Don't worry about the other nonsense. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Like 5 years from now, you'll be like, you won't even remember those people. Like, don't even worry about it. Yeah. I'm gonna do a Lakers stream soon, yo. Lakers stream soon. Secret coming home would be incredible. It would be, and it's more likely than people think. And I'm just saying, just keep an eye on it. It's potential. I'm not saying it's happening. It's imminent or something like that. I mean, technically it could be, but what I'm saying is that's a name to keep an eye on. Nobody can make me feel bad for our title this year. Oh, never. No one can make me feel bad for any of our titles. None. Jealousy is love and hate is the same time. Yeah. It don't really matter, man. That's their feelings, not yours. You know, it doesn't matter. You got to block that out. I literally can, like, sometimes I'll mess with people, you know, just, you know, people like they're an egomaniac or they're bullies or I'll do my thing just to get them out of pocket and just show them how easy it is to control their emotions. But I sleep the same, bro. I give no F's about them. None. Because they don't do anything for me. Don't need them. You don't need them. You really don't. You need yourself and your true supporters, your loved ones, and the things you really do things for. That's all you need. Outside of that, it's just icing on the cake. Acquaintances, people you meet up and hang out with and stuff like that. At the end of the day, handle your business. Everything will be fine. Those who don't, they basically kind of expose themselves. It's very, very easy. Clowns come out the woodwork very easily. Very, very easily. Let's see here. Appreciate it, man. Everyone over on Twitter right now, man. Y'all going crazy right now. Appreciate y'all, man. And see some orders coming here on the Fanatics site. Greatly, greatly appreciate y'all. Greatly, greatly appreciate y'all. Make sure to drop a like on the video if you have not done so already. Subscribe to the channel if you guys have not done so already. But like I said, Soto, I think he ends up on one of the New York teams. That makes the most sense to me. Anything is possible. Anything can happen. But I have no idea 100% where he's going. I'm just fairly certain it's not going to be us. But again, who knows? I still believe Teo will be back with the Dodgers. I believe Roki will be with the Dodgers. And I believe that a Snell, a Fried, a Burns, a Crochet, one of those guys will find their way in Dodger blue. That's just what I feel. Aaron says, ordered a ton of stuff for the family through your link earlier this month. Appreciate you, brother. Yeah, man, people went heavy, man. People went heavy. I had one of the biggest returns on, it's funny, for my channel size being nowhere near some of these juggernauts or nowhere near some of these bigger channels. My affiliate programs, my links, do very, very well. The companies are very happy to do business with us. So appreciate you guys, man, because I'm very picky about the products I choose. I don't really just go out there for ones that would necessarily make me the most money. I go after the ones that I would buy myself, that I truly do like, that I truly do want, and that I truly want to offer to the community, and with brands and companies I want to build with. Outside of that, you'd be surprised, and you can ask any content creator that's done this. You get presented some wild proposals, right? And I only really stick with the ones that I think that the community would rock with and that I would want myself. So Fanatics, obviously Fanatics. I mean, who wouldn't? Like Fanatics, Fanatics have been great partners. Like I said, Code118 Wallets have been great partners. There are a lot of people who I just randomly threw like my Tesla link in the chat. I never really promoted it, and people were buying Teslas using my link. I've been getting like free supercharging, free pet covers for Lucky. You know what I mean? All because of these affiliate programs. So shout out to you guys. All I ask is if you do shop on Fanatics, think of your boy. Use our link. If you need a new wallet or wallet for someone during the holiday season, tap our link in the description for the Code118 Wallets. Incredible, incredible wallet. You guys will love it. Your families will love it. Your friends will love it. Co-workers will love it. Very, very inexpensive, but very, very high quality. And you get 15% off by using our link. But the amount of love on the Fanatic link was nuts. So shout out to y'all, man. Appreciate you, Aaron. Mike says the Dodgers also signed the best young outfielder from Taiwan, and the best young Korean pitcher. They both big boys, 6'4", 220 pounds. Yeah, they did. And here's the thing. The Dodgers also now with the news of Roki going to January 15th posting, the Dodgers now have that $2.5 million to use for the remainder of this year through December 15th. So the Dodgers can add more international signings with that $2.5 million now. So that's more. That actually Roki waiting actually helps the Dodgers because they get that $2.5 million to use on other players, and they could still get Roki with the posting for next year. So it works. It totally works. And it doesn't necessarily mean he's going to take that whole 7 or whatever it is next year. It doesn't mean that. Maybe he does, but it doesn't mean he will. You're welcome, Aaron, man. Thank you. Appreciate you, man. Yeah, this is a special championship. The whole family needs to be part of it. Yep. I've ordered a ton of stuff for myself, for family, for Christmas. It's been fantastic. I need to do some giveaways, and I'm going to do that. So it'll be. I'll probably do some like member only streams where we do some giveaways. Like I said, the member community I'm really trying to grow out because I'm trying to do other things on this channel. The problem is when you do things on a channel that are outside of the normal, YouTube kind of starts getting funky with you. Like if I did like a day in the life thing, if I started vlogging on the channel, doing other things in Lakers and Dodgers, that's not what a lot of people come here for. So I kind of keep the regular videos to that. But if people want like a little something different, a little extra, want to see me kind of popping off a little bit, like a little different than what you see. This is kind of the professional version as much as it is, as professional of me as you'll get, right? But the members only stuff is going to be a little different, right? And it's only like the lowest one is like $2.99 a month. So it's nothing crazy. But that way I can do whatever videos I want on that one. And it doesn't affect like the algorithm or new subscribers or stuff like that. Members are genuinely for people who've been around for the channel for a while and want to support and probably wouldn't mind seeing some like just random different sides of me and my crew, my family, be lucky and stuff like that, right? So that's what the membership program is for. A little change up, a little different. And I can't really do everything on the channel here on lives and stuff outside of what I've built because it kind of takes away from what I've built. So that's where the member only stuff will come into play. But shout out to all the members who have joined already. You guys are incredible. Shout out to everyone who's dropped a like on the video. You are equally as credible. And those who have subscribed to the channel, definitely goes a long way to help us out. Lucky jumping up and down after a Mookie homer. Yeah, did you see that one? Did you see that? I posted that on my IG. He was literally on the table with his Mookie jersey on while Mookie was on the screen. Lucky, man, that boy. I need to create Lucky's his own channel. Like I really need to create Lucky his own channel. It'd probably be more popular than mine. The amount of people who love Lucky. I can't go anywhere with this dude without being stopped, like everywhere. He's like a dog model. Can't take him anywhere. You know what I mean? But yeah, man. But appreciate y'all for tuning in. I'm gonna go ahead and shut it down for the night. Really enjoy spending the time with you guys tonight. Like I said, I know it's been about a week since my last live. I'm gonna be heading out of state for Thanksgiving week, so it'll be tough. But I'm gonna try to get some shows in on the road, some members only stuff as well. I'm going to try to get some, show or two in before I head out. Once we get past through Thanksgiving, I'll be a little bit more consistent again with baseball and basketball and some other things. But right now, with all these birthdays and Thanksgiving coming up, it's going to be a little difficult. So appreciate those for bearing with me. Appreciate those continuing to show up, even though I'm sporadic and random and not as consistent as your local neighborhood sports streamer. You know what I mean? But you guys know that already. You guys know I always try to explain that when I'm doing the streams. I wish I had the time to do these every day. I love doing it. It's just I've got a very, very busy life off the internet. So it is but I do enjoy it. This has been fun. It's a good getaway. It's a good escape. It's kind of therapeutic. I could zone out for a bit, forget everything I got going on, all the pressures of the regular world, just come here and chill and talk hoops or talk baseball, talk whatever, really, right? And I have you guys to thank for that. So I will always thank you. I will always appreciate that. And y'all have Festo, I see you, brother. What's going on, man? But I do appreciate you guys for tuning in. Drop a like on the video if you have not done so already. Subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. Tap those links, our affiliates, if you have not done so already. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section if you're arriving late, because I snuck up ninja style and no one knew I was going live tonight. DJ, Lakers in 5, I see you, my guy. Appreciate you. Make sure to subscribe to Lakers in 5. My guy, DJ. Great channel, great content. I talk about me being inconsistent. This man is consistent as they go. Great content over there. Great channel. DJ, if you're working tonight, drive safe, brother. Appreciate you, man. I'm going to hit you up. We haven't talked in a minute. We've both been real busy. I'm going to hit you up. Other than that, appreciate y'all tuning in. Catch you guys on the next one. Enjoy the rest of your night. Enjoy your Thursday. Lakers play tomorrow. Enjoy the Lakers. And we will talk soon. Love y'all. Stay safe. Catch you guys on the next one. I'm out of here.